Welcome, everybody, to the Gaming Apology Tour. Why are games coming out broken?
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Oh, man. So we've been trying to have this conversation for a little while now. It started with the Redfall release way back when. And then it was like, oh, then Gollum came out really bad.
Oh, my God, it did.
And then other stuff happened, and we had to push this conversation back. So here we are. But ultimately, we want to talk about a little bit regarding games coming out broken a lot. Not just a little bit, but like a lot.
A lot of it.
We got games like Redfall that came out like garbage. Jedi Survivor launched a lot of bugs. Cyberpunk came out pretty poor. Gollum came out pretty bad. Battlefield 2042 came out looking bad. Fallout 76. You name it, it probably came out a little bit broken. Except for Diablo, it actually released pretty well.
Or God of War.
Or God of War. God of War, I totally expected that to be great.
Yeah.
So there's a Halo Infinite. Oh, man, I forgot about that one. So there's just been a lot of games that have come out poorly.
Forspoken.
Oh, shit. Remember that
Babylon's Fall.
Yeah, that game
New
got shut down,
Genesis. Phantasy Star Online 2. War Thunder.
But what's been so interesting is that, these games are coming out, they're really broken, and then there's a big old apology letter that comes out, which if y'all didn't see the meme out on the wild, there was a photo that was posted that was basically just like every apology letter that's ever been posted recently, and it's just a lot. And it's a weird state with the gaming industry, with games costing more money than ever before to make, and they're coming out just not good. So what are y'all's thoughts about this? How do you feel about it? Just like initial high-level impressions. Like, why do you think this is?
Money.
Austin.
Money. It's all about money.
Broken because of money?
Yeah. These games take more time to develop, and then people are like, well, we got to get this on a spreadsheet. We need hype. We need to build all this stuff. It's actually costs less to just get the game out, take the hit, and fix it later. Because it takes a lot of money just to keep it in the oven.
Production.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with Cyberpunk. It was supposed to launch a year later, and then the devs found out, hey, we're launching it this year.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? But it's been like, they went on a whole tour of like, look at this game. It's so awesome. Marketing. Everyone's hyped. Everyone wants to buy it, like pre-order it. It's supposed to be the best game ever. It wasn't ready.
So here's my devil's advocate counterpoint to that.
Okay.
Like it.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
And I think the reason why you're wrong
Okay.
is because I don't think it's the money. I think it's the scope creep. I think they're building games
I think that's part of it.
and letting them get too big to the point where they get 4 years in the production. They're like, shit, this is going to take another 5 years to make.
Yep.
So the solution to that, not throw more money at it, not release it too early, make a game that's not so big.
Well, on top of that, they keep going through the head people who are
Well,
like,
that too, yeah. You're also having a bunch of people like,
we need to do
dropping
this.
out.
Well, now
but
we
the
need to do
reason for
this.
that is because they committed to a game that they now can't deliver on. So they're like,
Yeah.
I'm getting the fuck out before it's too late.
Exactly.
Jeff or Kaplan freaking with Overwatch 2. He's like, PvE is going to fall apart and die. So I'm just going to get out before it's
out now.
too late, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
So
Cyberpunk's
sad.
a prime example of that. That was supposed to come out back when Arkham Asylum came out. like that's a long time to be waiting for a game.
yeah.
So
Well, it's like looking at Redfall, there was an article that came out about the developers. They were wishing that Microsoft would cancel the game. And the reason was because they provided insights in the factors that led to the poor release, such as a lack of clear direction and understaffing issues. So that, again, just goes back to two things. One is the understaffing just means there was too much in this game to build that they didn't have time to build in the time that they were given. So scope could have been pulled back to allow them to reach that point. But then also the lack of clear direction. It's just like they probably got the higher ups up here who are like saying like, oh, we needed to do this thing. You know, we need like a live service game. And then these guys are like, well, we need to make sure there's good story and like the, you know, environmental storytelling and environmental interactions, blah, blah, blah. I forgot what they called Dishonored games, but the, I don't remember the name of it, but whatever those types of games are, those two things are like kind of competing with one another and just ultimately are just leading to a broken system.
I think that's what I was thinking. You have people at the top who are like, we need to make this kind of game, and it just needs to be like this. Like Fallout 76, we need this online, open world, blah, 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 make all the money, get big Game Pass, but. Here we
Game
are.
Pass hadn't happened yet at that point when they launched Fallout 76.
But let's have a battle royale in this too. Let's just do everything that makes money.
Y'all think that's like a generation thing? Like there's a generation gap between what we're like dealing with now. The higher ups are used to a mentality of like working nonstop and getting shit done, and then the newer generation is just kind of like 9 to 5, I'm done.
I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean 9 to 5? I'm done.
Like I work my 8 hours, I'm good.
Oh, I see.
Like people,
And then
people
the other-
they're respecting their time more than people of yesteryear kind of thing.
Because I in the military, I'm going to refer back to this. That's how the mentality is, and I'm stuck in the middle of it. I am a supervisor of my employees, and they just want to work till they're done, and then they're done, which I respect that. No one wants to put in the effort and stay late or do anything else. But that was the old mentality that I had back in my day. Whenever I was young, little Jason running around, I will stay late. I will do whatever, because this was my main focus. This is it. This is my job. Do you think what we're seeing now is a repercussion of that? Is a generation gap, and slowly we'll get beyond this once that older generation retires and moves forward.
Well, I think they demand too much of people right now.
But that's what I'm saying, is because that older generation is demanding that much, is to put in that time, put in that fucking effort.
I think it's more.
I think it's different.
I think
Yeah.
Before it was about passion. We're talking about BattleBit. Like that. That's passion.
That's passion, yeah.
They have a clear sight of what they want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I feel like what they're trying to accomplish is we need to make money. And then, they get the focus groups and they find out all the stuff that's going to, it's big right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Battle Royale is so big. We all need a Battle Royale. Let's all make Battle Royale. We need skins. We need a full green skin cosmetic for this one thing that's going to cost you $20.
So the passion with the leadership or the passion with the developers? With the common worker pushing it?
Well, I'm sure the common worker has passion, but then it comes to the people making all the final decisions. Being
Okay,
like,
I see what
we
you're
have
saying.
to
So
go
you
a certain
think
way.
We have to go a certain way. We got to push it. So you think it's the higher ups that are doing it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think it falls on them. I mean, they are technically the leadership.
No.
So if it's not going the way that it's supposed to be going, I mean, it falls on them in the end.
then how
It might be the people at the bottom, but they need to fire those people and find new people.
How do you explain Forspoken?
I don't know.
Because that doesn't fit in your argument. Is my only concern. I agree with you in most cases, but like Forspoken, Gollum, they don't have microtransactions. None of that stuff exists there. They're single player focused games that came out broken. It's not a money grab if the game's going to come out broken and then they're not going to make any money. So like, what went wrong there?
I think
Gollum. I'm sorry.
Well, what I was talking about, these are the exception, not the rule. Mm-hmm. Currently, the rule is let's make a bunch of money for all like AAA games. Those technically aren't AAA games, I guess. Maybe III, if you want to call them that.
Forspoken probably, Gollum, I would say, is more like a
indie game.
It's AAA, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Daedalus Entertainment.
they just
Daedalic
had bad
Entertainment.
leadership. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe someone on top was like, hey, we need to get this game out. Just get it out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think Gollum was a combination of both. I think the developers probably didn't put enough passion into it because you can see in that game that there wasn't enough in there. The gameplay itself was just garbage and terrible. Forspoken, it had potential, but it was missing its niche. So I think those two are just oddball, weird ones. But Cyberpunk and Battlefield alone, Jesus Christ, I don't know what happened with that one.
Well, so the Battlefield story with them came out was that, well, here I have an article about that actually. The Battlefield 2042 devs, this article came out in May. Battlefield 2042 devs said that Battlefield never stood much chance being great at launch. And the ex-senior software engineer at DICE said that the game had many iterations and the deadline never changed much. So basically, they just shifted a lot. So early leaks said that their game originated. So early leaks during the development, which originated from a person who is on a now terminated Twitter user, outlined the game's huge destructibility, weather events, and more. Unfortunately, those details did not come to fruition. It wasn't until a couple months after the game's launch it was learned that those details from internal pitches of the game, which painted Battlefield 2042 in a different light, is likely one of those many iterations that they had talked about. Originally believed to be a battle royale, 2042 changed directions multiple times during its development. Internal documents from a year before release showed the game in a different light too, with major weather events including tsunamis, volcanoes erupting, and so forth.
Wow.
So basically the game just like shifted a lot. So this goes back to like it's not a money thing in my mind. Well, I mean, some of it could be like a money grab, like, hey, let's do a battle royale. But it's really just a vision. The vision wasn't there. You know, the vision. I mean, Patrick Sutherland went off and started Embark Studios, so he's no longer there anymore. They didn't have the creative leadership that they once had to guide the development because he was behind Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
You know, probably on his way out with Battlefield 5. So,
I think it's a full circle thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just depending on.
I mean, you have the team who's trying to develop something, and yes, they could be not the best visionaries, and that's why we see people keep coming in and out of all these games like Mass Effect Andromeda. Like they lost like 3 people, I think. I don't know. Look that up. But then eventually the people at the top are like, we got to make money. You include these things, don't include these things, make it bigger or whatever. I don't know what they're telling them, but eventually it's like, let's just pull the trigger. Like Cyberpunk. It could have waited another year, and it probably would have
Waited another year?
They were supposed to wait one more year, and it was supposed to. It would have been way better than it was.
Probably.
And
God damn, that game's been
it's bad.
baking in the oven for a hot minute.
You know, they got all this money infusion. They used all this time, and I mean, they still had issues too. But it's like, man, maybe you should just wait. Like, what's up with waiting? And
well, like I feel like it's burning money though.
I know. I get that.
It's like,
I get that.
It's not. It's that point. It's less of a. You know, it's not a money thing. It's like we got to stop spending money and start making money.
We need to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Not permissions.
But again, I think that goes back to just it's a scope thing. It's like that
too,
clearly was not.
Yeah. It's a full thing.
Either
full
didn't
circle.
get budgeted correctly, which I mean, it's hard to budget. I mean, a $200 million game. It's hard to figure out like what that's going to take to build.
I mean, do they go
every
in there
movie,
and they're like, oh, it's going to take us 5 years, $200 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is that what they go in there and do? Like,
yeah.
Basically,
100%.
yeah, that is what they do.
Government does that all the fucking time.
Yeah, and then
Like
they end up going over
100%.
budget every
They
time.
go over
yeah.
budget. And it's just like, well, we got to figure it out and move from there. So
It's really hard to figure out what it's going to cost. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, with my job, it's like we're working on website projects and like we start a website and we literally bid a job based off what we know before we actually know what the site's going to look like. And then when we get to the development phase of it, that site has completely shifted from what we originally budgeted for. And then it's like, shit, now it's, you know,
praying to God.
$20,000 more than we expected it to be kind of thing. But I think a lot of too what's happening here is probably when games first came out, like in the 90s and stuff like that, those people were like, you know, they were scrappy, they were learning quick, they were excited. There was all this like energy around making things fast because you could make things fast and put it out there and make these amazing games. And they're all creatively talented in building cool games. Now those people that were doing that creative work are now in the positions of management, and they've never been trained on how to run a 200-person company.
That's
so
true. That's
they're
true.
making bad decisions every step of the way.
Yeah.
And nobody's telling them what to do until they bring in a suit who their priority is how can we make sure we aren't in the red the previous year like we were previous year.
Yeah.
Microtransactions. That's when the money starts coming in. So it's kind of a combination of like the creatives didn't have the skill set to like manage teams because they weren't team managers. They were creative people.
Yeah.
And then now you got the suits coming in who are like, no, we got to fix this shit and we got to just fix the bottom line, cater to the stakeholders.
Yep.
And that's their focus. So I think that's where a lot of this is happening is that you just have two conflicting people that have two different visions and direction, and they need to work in tandem and like kind of be one unit, and they're just not doing that.
Yeah, you got the business guy and the creative guy.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
I mean, look at who's the guy from the Gears of War guy, that
Hugh
tried.
Jackman.
No.
Oh, it was at the tip of my tongue right now.
Yeah, that made a bunch of games and just he never could make his own game by himself because he's a creative guy.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, you wish.
He wants to play, what's his name, in Gears of War.
Ooh.
No, not
yeah,
the guy that made Gears of War, not the person that acted in Gears of War.
He didn't act on Gears of War.
Well, I'm just saying, you're talking about actors. I'm talking about
people.
Cliff Blazinski.
Cliff Blazinski.
Yeah. So
Cliffy B.
Yeah. So he was moved into a position from creative director into running his own company, and he's producing games, and none of his games ever were able to come out, and then he had to shut his company down. So
yeah.
it's just these creatives aren't necessarily fit to be. Not everybody's fit to be a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole totally different mindset.
Especially with something like this, you have so many people involved, and just it's all on you. Because look at us, we're already a prime example. You're already blaming leadership. Leadership can go only as far as they can go, but it's people that are dedicated to that wants to do it. Yeah. I mean, I'm stuck in that position myself where I have a lot of workers that they just want to do their 9 to 5 and go home, and that's it. They don't want to put in the extra hours. They don't want to put in the extra work, and it's hard to motivate them in order to do that. And you can only do so much because you're limited by management, the other higher ups, to do certain things. So
why does BattleBit become so successful?
Because you had 3 fucking people working on it and just 3 people were communicating.
No upper management.
There you go. No upper management.
It was all about passion.
No CEO.
That's all it
Anything.
was.
That was 100% passion.
Yeah. And you can see that passion in the game.
Yeah.
With the things that they put attention to. You know, I think that's a big.
So
thing.
these guys didn't have passion.
They probably have
Had upper management.
I mean, certain people probably had a lot of passion for this, but prime example, Cyberpunk. I can imagine whenever it just started off, a lot of people had a lot of passion for it, and it just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed because all the fucking laws or the money and all that shit, and they just fell off of it. And then we got the mess that we got because other people jumped into it so they can push out a game. And then it finally came out, and we got a shit game because someone up in higher management, we already spent this much money on it. Let's fucking push it out and earn something off of it. Yeah. So
the game itself is good. And I think the people that built it were very passionate and built an amazing world. It's just that it came out broken because it's like you have the suit people that are they don't understand the creative side.
Yeah.
And therefore they overscoped, overbid this project probably. And then they're like, shit, now we got to get it out there because it's we made a game that's way too big, way too ambitious. Star Citizen is a good example too. That game's been freaking... Oh, God. They invested $80 million in that game. It still hasn't come out yet. It's never going to come out.
I can't believe I
Starfield's going to come out before Star
Citizen. I know. I can't believe I paid for that.
I can't say much about Gollum because Gollum looks like a fucking pile of shit. I don't think anyone was passionate about that. Even in the fucking apology letter, they misspelled Lord of the Rings or some shit in there. Did y'all see that?
No.
They
about that,
fucked that up too. There was zero passion in Gollum.
I feel like sometimes these companies they get something like Gollum, Lord of the Rings, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna make something. It's gonna make money.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how bad it is. We're just gonna make money.
Title.
Yeah.
Same way with Marvel's Avengers. Everyone sees that title and they're like, yeah. And the same way with movies and stuff. Just push it out there. Batman versus Superman. You see that and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm ready. And they push out the shit that they had.
They do the best marketing of all time.
Director's cut was amazing. I love the director's cut of Batman vs. Superman, but that's beyond that. But yeah, they push it out there. It's the marketing. That's what hooks people. And then you already fucking push your money out there and they have it and you're like, I want it back. Oh, too bad. I have it now. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, I'll go to GameStop.
Okay. Yep.
So we talked a lot.
Go back to GameStop. Sell this game back.
Yeah. Well, so that's good. That's my next point I want to bring up is that we've talked a lot about there's definitely a management issue. There's a money issue. A lot of those things happening. But it's how can we as gamers keep this from happening?
We can't.
I mean, other than just not buying the game, but
we can't. There's no way.
You don't buy the game. Don't pre-order. Don't buy the game if you think it's going to be shitty.
You don't know if it's going to be shitty.
I mean, you might
Cyberpunk looked great until it came out.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you guys are
Yeah.
hyping that motherfucker.
Well,
up.
they were getting pre-orders like crazy. That's the thing. Like now everyone is always
Forspoken
about
looked good.
those
I thought it was gonna be
pre-orders.
good too.
There's no way to stop that. It's the same way with movies and TV shows.
You have
There's
to
no way to
wait
stop it.
a week or two, maybe even a month after a game releases, and see what people say, because there's going to be those people like every time who are going to go out there, buy that, pre-order it, get it day one, review it for you, like just some Joe Schmo off his couch like us. And just be like, hey, this game sucks. Or you can watch gameplay. You can watch streamers. Like day one, watch the streamers. See if you like the game.
You're partially right. But the real answer, Austin, is...
I got it wrong.
The real answer is there's only one way gamers can help. And that is to listen to the Inner Gamer every other Tuesday.
Because I'll waste my money on these shitty games. And give you a fucking shitty review on it. And then take it back to GameStop. These guys will force me to keep playing it
Ain't that
until
the
it gets
truth?
good, like Battlefield 2042.
Which is great.
It's
Ain't
great
that
now.
the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Oh, man.
No, but seriously, like it's with your money. Like if these companies aren't providing what they are marketing, like we shouldn't give them their money early. We should wait. We should take a step back. I mean, I think some of these companies may need to just crumble and then scatter to the wind, and then have people who are passionate, like BattleBit, to come out of the ashes and actually create something amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you see with Jedi Survivor, I mean, it's like that game came out a little broken, and it's a lot better now.
Yeah,
It's still
I
broken.
didn't notice anything.
I would bet you they're not going to make that same mistake twice.
Oh, yeah, no,
Gotta hope
most
not.
definitely not.
Yeah.
Well, they should have made it once, honestly.
Well, I know. Yeah. Shouldn't have happened the first time.
It's
but
always those
like,
rare gems that don't make that mistake, like God of War, Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't remember it being a big issue.
Oh, no,
Red
that
Dead-
game was broken as shit.
Was it?
Multiplayer.
Oh, well,
my
not the
God.
multiplayer. They waited like fucking 2 weeks. I'm talking about the standard game that you paid for and you got.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
you
was
pay for the
nice. That
multiplayer
was
too,
nice.
bro. Some people just want it for the multiplayer.
That's true. Some
guess
people
so.
did. But you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah,
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
If you wanted that, I'm sorry.
But no, as a
Ghost
consumer,
of Tsushima. Quality example.
Oh my God, I'm gonna replay that game tonight. Eighth time.
All right. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. You're going to be done. Right?
I'm gonna be done. To be honest, like for a consumer, I recommend like if it's not a sequel that you're super excited for, like if they came out with a third God of War, I'm pre-ordering it right away because I know what I'm
because
getting.
They know, know that they're going to provide.
But if you're looking at a new IP like Forspoken, most definitely wait off, or Gollum, wait off.
Ubisoft games.
Don't have people convince you to buy Battlefield 2042 or 2043 when it comes out. Just wait off a minute because you'll hear a bunch of bitching about it.
No, you should still buy it.
No,
play
just-
with me.
I'm talking about the sequel to 2042. Just wait off a minute.
24-3.
You might be behind a little bit, but I guarantee you'll catch up. But like with new IPs, you just got to be wary, be careful. But for sequels that you know that,
Godfall.
oh my God, Godfall. But with sequels that you know that you trusted for a while, stick with those. Pre-order those and just go from there. Support
Except
that
for
company as
Mass
much as
Effect
possible.
Andromeda. Not
Yeah.
so hot, but
Oh yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda.
yeah.
I mean, you think people will be
Fallout 76.
learning from Nintendo?
Oh my God, I
right
didn't
now.
think about that. I don't
was
play
just-
those games. So.
No, that was just absolutely trash. Like, there's the reminder of how trash it is.
Trashy, the
It's-
trash can
yeah.
out there.
I definitely think, though, I think you should. I mean, I feel like the idea of pre-ordering is just like a gotcha way to get you to like pre-buy the game so they can have better number estimations when the game comes out. But most of the time, the pre-order benefits aren't that great. I mean, I might get a little cosmetic thing or whatever. It is nice, like with like things like Diablo, we got to play the closed beta and get in early.
Yeah,
and,
that was
like play
fun.
with friends. Like that was cool. But beyond that stuff, like
That was
I'm
still
in the
risky,
same
too,
boat.
though.
I don't want to do.
Yeah, it really
pre-order.
was.
Yeah,
But we had to do it for everybody.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I did it because I wanted to play it, but not because of you guys. I'm going to be honest about that. But I wanted to play it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's our gaming apology tour, everybody. We went around the gamut. Talked about all the games that have been coming out broken. Hopefully, we got a lot of games coming out this. Okay, one last question.
Here we go. Let's do
This fall,
Yep.
name a game you think is going to come out broken as shit. You're excited about it.
Oh, shit.
It's going to come out broken as
Assassin's
shit.
Creed?
Mirage?
last
I don't
one come
think
out
so.
broken?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that's going to come out broken.
What's coming out?
I think
So many
Starfield.
games.
Starfield. I think
Oh,
Starfield's
Assassin's
going to be
Creed.
broken.
Bethesda has never failed to come out with a broken game day one.
Starfield, I'm super excited about it, but I'm guaranteed it's going to be broken, but
Yeah.
they're going to fix it real
They
quick.
claim it's going to be perfect,
Well, they've been.
It might.
It might.
but it's also going to run
might.
30 frames per second. So that was intentional.
They already fucked up.
They already fucked up. No, I guarantee you that game's probably going to come out broken. I can see that one coming
It's
out.
going to
broken.
have issues. It might not be broken.
I don't think Spider-Man
it's
2
gonna have
is going to
issues.
come out
Oh,
broken.
no.
No,
Anything
Alan
PlayStation
Wake.
Wake. No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of
What
like,
else is coming out?
Space Marine?
That could be broken.
Warhammer?
Oh.
I don't think that's going to be broken.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do. I really do. Honestly, as much as they say it's not going to be, I really think Starfield's
Oh,
going to come out.
Starfield's going to be broken.
There's going to be a bunch of
Every-
headlines for the first like three to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be like talking about all the buggy
But,
shit.
I think they're going to fix it real quick because that's their like
oh yeah.
bread and butter at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure it'll be playable.
Oh yeah. it's gonna be
Every
playable.
Bethesda game's been playable for the most part. But yeah, there's not a single Bethesda game.
But
I got one. Immortals of Avium. Did you hear that just got delayed a month?
It did.
Yeah, it was going to come out in July.
don't know
Now
what
it's
game
pushed
that
back
is.
to that's the space like you shoot magic, or not space, magic game where you like shoot magic and
Oh,
stuff.
I did not
during the
want to
Summer
play that
Games
game.
Fest. Yeah, the
No,
guy came out
it
on
was the
stage.
worst.
So it was like,
it looked like shit. That's most definitely going to be broken.
You know what? I would say it's not going to be broken. It's
Okay.
just going to be shit.
It's just going to be shit.
yeah. Okay.
It's going to be shit before it gets broken.
We'll see what happens. But cool. Gaming apology tour, everybody. Games are coming
There's
out.
more
broken.
coming. And we'll come back at the end of the year and see which
Ooh.
games apologized.
Exo Primal comes out July 14th.
Oh, we're about to talk about that here at the end of the podcast.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I didn't realize that.
No, it's just
Broken.
it's in the-
Broken.
That's gonna be broken, but it's all dinosaurs. It's gonna be great.
dinosaurs and
Can't
shooting
wait.
them. It's gonna be fun.
All right, let us know what games you think will be broken this fall, and if you have any thoughts on like how the industry can do better, how can we do better as gamers? How can the industry or as a whole do better? If you agree with us, let us know. If you don't, then also let us know.